Alright, so wasn't able to do the live stream. I guess that part of my YouTube account wasn't set up. So here's just a good overview on how we're going to go ahead and install router, or not router, but the OpenWRT that I compiled for this. This router, for all intents and purposes, is basically a WG3526 with some modifications and changes to it. So like the same processor for the most part, and kind of, if I'm not mistaken, same memory configuration. So after you hold down the reset button for 10 seconds after you apply power, obviously here's the screen that will come up. We'll press the button. And we'll get the browse files, and in my Google Drive, go back here, I'll exit out real fast and go to the Google Drive. Where are you at? Google Drive. Oh, because we're connected to the router, we're not going to have internet just yet, so I do have it here locally, so make sure you download it prior to doing this. And let me find my router firmware, 1608, and it should be, if I remember correctly, this one right here should be the one that you're looking for. So you want to click on that and hit open, and then you'll get the pop-up for the 192.168.1.1 that's in Chinese writing, and then press OK, and then it's going to go through the flashing process, as you can see now. Once it does this, it's basically flashing OpenWRT, which I like. It's vanilla OpenWRT. It's really easy to update the packages via this version of the firmware. I'm gonna pause the recording right now, and I'll come back up once it's fully booted up to OpenWRT and the flashing process is finished. Alright, we're back up. The router went through the reboot process, and now similar to once you install router, when you put in 192.168, you'll essentially be presented with this GUI once it's all booted back up. Like I said, I developed this with the WG3526 build process for or in OpenWRT, which works for this router. I've tested it, works just fine. As you can see, it's wanting us to set a password. We're not going to do that just yet. We're going to log in. I like the way this looks too. There's some other themes you can check from. See, here's that W3526. Don't let that scare you. Everything is working just fine. You also see there's 4 radios for both the AC and N Wi-Fi. Whatever you do, don't delete them. That's what lets it work and have both ACs. Or AC and N Wi-Fi. So the first thing that you want to do when you come here is you want to go to network, alright, and go to interfaces. Once you go to interfaces, and you can set a password prior to this too, you want to add a new interface. So we'll go add new interface, right? We'll go or WWWAN, for a wireless WAN. We're not going to use link aggregation channel bonding. I added it to it, so if you're able to get it to work, let me know. A QMI works, and Modem Manager works for your cellular modems. So we're going to use Modem Manager. I like it a little bit better. It manages the modem a lot better. We'll go create interface. Alright, once we do that, this will come up. As you can see, it's showing the Cat6 modem that I installed in the router. We need to set the APN for that. It's T-Mobile, so fast.t-mobile.com. Alright, from here we'll go check the advanced settings, nothing to click there. Firewall settings, so we want to add this to the WAN firewall rules. We'll go save, and we'll save and apply. Alright, and as you could see that there was 6 pending changes for that interface. If for whatever reason you don't get a connection after you add the interface, as you can see it says modem disabled. You can do 2 things. You can do a hard reset, by unplugging the power and plugging the power back in, or you can do a restart over here. So we'll try a restart real quick and see if that takes care of the interface. As you can see, modem connection in progress. Please wait. And then boom, we're connected. I find it to be a little bit quicker of a process than the way router connects, to be honest. And now we have internet. Next thing that you'd want to do is change your Wi-Fi, SSID, and password. As you can see, all 4 of those radios. And that, if I'm not mistaken, the generic MAC 8211 and the MediaTek 802.11 B, G, and N are the ones that you want to change, right? So right now they're not enabled. I'll click enable. It's enabled. Now what you want to do is take a device that you have and make sure that you're seeing the OpenWRT SSID. You can go in here and edit it. I'll enable this one as well. And I go through and enable all of them just to prevent any possibility that there might be that it may not work. So enable. And I know this, it seems weird having all this stuff in here, but that's how I was able to get the AC Wi-Fi to work, not using the Chinese OpenWRT that comes with the router. It's nothing against their firmware. I just don't think it's that easy. That's just me. So the next thing that you want to do is, after your Wi-Fi is working, which it is, we want to make sure, save and apply. So that's the thing with this. There's always 2, so save and apply. So anytime you hit save, you also want to do save and apply, or it's not going to take. Make sure it took. Sorry, there are no changes. Okay, so could have been wrong on that one. Won't be the first time, and sure ain't going to be the last. Firewall rules, right? So most of us need those TTL adjustments, and as you can see, we don't have the little drop down like router has. But yeah, if you look at my Google Drive, there's a script in there for T-Mobile firewall rules. You can just copy that and change the numbers at the end. So if you got Verizon or AT&T and you're not using a tablet plan, so we'll go here 65, 65, 65. We'll go save. Right, I saved it once, and now I go to general settings, and now I go save and apply. And if you test it with a ping, which I may do right now myself, I don't think you guys are going to be able to see this. Let me check. Nope. So that window isn't on there for you, but I'm just going to test it for me. I'm going to ping Google and see what it's showing up with. And there we go. Looks good to me. Yep, looks good. Alright, so close terminal. And I'm back over here. And sometimes if it doesn't take for whatever reason, just restart the router. Do a hard restart and check it again. Got diagnostics in here. I did add OpenVPN if you need to use that. There's also WireGuard in here if I'm not mistaken. Administration should be where you can change your password and whether or not you want SSH access. Software is a pretty neat part about this. So we'll go update list. And it should start pulling down all the packages. Now some of the packages may be newer with regard to what kernel is being used. So we'll dismiss this, everything passed. It's going to load that package information. I can go here to updates and upgrade certain packages. Now you may get an error that says, hey, no, it's not going to take it because the kernel on here is older than the kernel that these were developed with. I've updated the 19 OpenWRT, and for whatever reason there's still some of these packages that aren't up to date. So I usually go through and just kind of check, and for the most important ones, like your QMI right here, the Sierra Wireless stuff, Serial WAN, make sure modem manager if it needs it, the MBIM enabled modems, we'll try that one real quick. Let's see if it takes, see if we have any issues. They're saying it's installed. I'll go ahead and do this and it'll make that package disappear. Sometimes when you compile this firmware, it doesn't pull everything for some odd reason. So it did. It downloaded it, and then you come back in here and that should have disappeared now. That should not be in there no more. This is your wireless drivers. So let's see if we can see right here where it says kernel version incompatible. So required that kernel, installed is the other one. So I've not gotten that smart to be able to update the kernel on these things. Would be nice, but I am not there yet. Maybe in the future. I'm gonna get a little bit more time to mess with this stuff. You can also search the package in general. Let's do QMI now. There we go. As you can see, the MBIM disappeared. Now there is a force the update option, but I mean, you can do it if you want. It may or may not work. I've seen it work sometimes, sometimes not. So yeah, that's the nice thing about these routers. You can always reset it and restart fresh, if that makes sense. We'll try the overwrite files from other package. Nah, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to mess with the kernel. The one thing I do recommend you doing once you've done all this is, you made all these changes. You want to go over here to backup and generate a backup. And that way, if you do end up needing to reflash it for whatever reason, at least the base configuration, with your modem and everything, is already available to you. I haven't gotten to the point to where I can automatically, when I compile it, make that other network interface for modem manager. Like this one down here. Let's go to status and overview real quick. And as you can see, it's transmitting data, probably not very fast. Oh, actually, let's do this. Let's go to system log. So this is where you're going to find a lot of the, if modem manager is disconnecting or not able to reconnect, kind of your troubleshooting area. So you're checking if modem manager is available, and it kind of goes through its process. There is a way to send AT commands to modem manager using PuTTY and SSHing into the router. I have done it in the past, but I'm not, not necessarily gonna sit down and kind of show that right now. But you are able to do that. So if you, with your, what is it, the IG status for like Sierra modems, to kind of find out, hey, what's going on? What are, how am I connected? Those kind of things you'd be able to do. I don't know if somebody has made a package specific to like being able to see scrolling AT commands on here. That's something we could check too real quick. So we can filter this list. No, nothing. So, or we'll go modem and see if that pulls up anything. Right now, at this moment, I'm not seeing anything that's specific to so here's your QMI driver, so might want to upgrade. No, so we'll leave that out. There's modem manager, so we'll upgrade modem manager. And it's probably going to kick you off once that happens, and once you update it. I could be wrong, but sometimes it does that. These are the available packages based off a modem, and I'm not seeing anything. Here's modem edge. Sometimes it keeps giving you the upgrade button, but I doubt it's. Sorry, I gotta check my work email. Alright, so that upgraded itself. And as you can see, every time we do something, some of the free space disappears. But modem manager is updated. Let's go check network now that we've done this. This video is going to be kind of long. I'm all over the place, but hey, better to see it. See, look, modem connection in progress. Please wait. It's because I updated it. It'll time out after 2 minutes. Worst case, restart the modem, or let's see. Look, it's fairly quick. If you start running into issues, this could be one of the reasons why. Always try doing a hard reset of the modem by unplugging the power and plugging it back in, and that should kind of help you along with the process of getting it up and running. But I really like this. I even like this theme. You can do it to where the theme looks like router in a way. But I like this, and you can see here's your connections and protocols, modem manager, and there's everything right there. There's that IP address for that SIM card, and here's the radios are all operating. Let me turn on a device. And I don't have any antennas connected to it right now, but I may turn on the device real quick and check and see if I can connect to the Wi-Fi. Another thing that's going to kind of be off is the lights. Your indication lights are not going to show up on here very well. I'm actually looking at it right now. Yeah. Your 2G light will come on, but the 5G light I'm not seeing. It doesn't mean that you don't have 5G Wi-Fi. It's just like I said, this firmware, and once OpenWRT supports this router fully, all on its own, and somebody has went in and programmed all those little itty lights, I'll go back through and make a new version of the firmware, recompile the firmware, and put it out on that Google Drive, and then that way everybody has access to it. I'm not trying to hoard information or keep anything for myself. I think as a community, especially with this LTE home internet, the idea is to help each other out. Hopefully, I'm sure there's some other people out there that may or may not think that way, and you may or may not get kicked off of a particular group. If you don't specifically support, Alright, so let me make sure that I am connected to... Nope, and as you can see right here, it'll show you whether or not you're connected to the AC internet or the N internet. And you can go through and you can configure these. We're going to try that real fast. Like I said, this will be kind of a long-winded video. And make sure everything is up and running the way it's supposed to be. And I may need to plug in an antenna to get this to fully work properly. We'll edit this one. And as you can see, AC, I'm going to tell it auto channel. We'll go 160 on the width and try to get the maximum band rate. We'll do driver default on the power. We'll make this a number 2. Wireless security, we'll go WPSK1, and I'll put in a key of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then look, you even have enable fast roaming amongst access points. So. And I think that's part of just the vanilla OpenWRT firmware. So I'll go save. Sorry, 7.8. And save and apply. And we'll see if we can get this AC Wi-Fi up to where you can see what it looks like. There we go. Alright, let's see if I can see this. Wi-Fi, the SSID, and I may need to change the other ones too. So there's that, and as you can see, as I connected, it'll pop up, it'll look just like that. So I am going to disable this one. And save and apply. So I'm not seeing it on that one, so we'll go to the same thing. We'll go auto, we'll go 160, we'll go the number 2, we'll go here and tell it WPSK2 or 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. And like I said, I could have been wrong, but I was almost positive that it was that one down there at the bottom. And I may need to put on some Wi-Fi antennas. But I'm so close to the router that it shouldn't really even matter. No. Okay. Do the same to this top one. Like I said, you know, just make it all look the same. If in the event that, you know, and you'll see which one you connect to for sure. Okay, we are all the same right now. I'm going to restart this one. See if anything pops up. I'm going to pause it for a second and then I'll come back to it. Alright, after much trial and error, it ended up working. I had to do a hard reboot and waited about 3 or 4 minutes, but as you can see, it was this bottom one down here. I did go through and make everything look the same on each one of these, set the channel to auto. It's going to say channel 9, but it's on auto as well, channel 100, but it's on auto. It's connected to a cell phone that I have right now, and I can see that the frequency is the 5 gigahertz. The WPA2 PSK is the encryption, and then right now between the router and the phone, the link speed is about 150 megs. That isn't the top end, obviously, for AC Wi-Fi, but I also had to put the antennas on, so that was another thing. But as you can see right down here, this is the AC Wi-Fi, 120 megabits, 40 megahertz. Let's width says 160. We'll put it to 80. We'll see what happens. We'll hit save. Save and apply. It's going to disconnect me and then probably connect to the N up here. So we'll let it go through and load and refresh. And I just want to make sure that, hey, everything's working the way it's supposed to work. You know, at the end of the day, that's kind of what we're looking for, right? Now I'm just waiting for that Wi-Fi to pop back up on the cell phone, not on the computer. And you got to remember my phone too. This little phone is not that great of a phone. I may try my Note 10 and see what connection rate that it comes up with. I'm going to do that. Because it's got a little bit better of a receiver. I'm actually reading if this is going to be you, US-D389's message. You know, I don't know if it has beamforming or MIMO, unfortunately. Or MU MIMO. That was going to be on ZBT's. It'll be ZBT like links. Google it, and it'll be on their website. I can tell you just from looking on the inside, you have one antenna for 5G and one antenna for 2.4. So I don't think you're going to get a lot of multi-in and multi-out based off of that. I'm sure the chips support multi-in, multi-out, but the way they built their board, they only have one connection for both the 2.4 and for the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. So it's not like the WG3526, which has 2 for each, which would, I guess, would be like 2 by 2. This is 1 by 1, if that makes sense. So your devices that don't need AC Wi-Fi, you know, make sure that they're on the in, and vice versa. This is what I recommend. So I'm going to go ahead and connect to this OpenWRT Wi-Fi and see what it gives me for my phone. And I think my phone has prefer 5G Wi-Fi as an option. Oh yeah, see, 866 right there, and it's connected to the AC Wi-Fi. There you go. You know what I'm going to do for you too is I'm going to save this configuration file and upload it to my Google Drive, and I'm going to generate this archive, and I'm going to add it in there, and then really all you need to do is change the APN at that point and any of the TTL settings, and then you should be good to go at that point. But that's pretty much it, man. Best of luck to you guys.